Hey up guys, MTech Guy here. So today we've got a few little jobs I want to get on top of. Starting off with the M5, we've got an SMG relay to change out. Now I'd been supplied with an incorrect part previously, so I've been out and changed that out today. Got the genuine article here, so we'll get that changed out. And then we've got a couple of little jobs on the coupe here, the E46 Coupe. Want to get the power steering fluid changed and the brake fluid flushed out and changed as well. There's a couple of little jobs I've been putting off for a while now, and I've been preoccupied with the M5, so we'll get on top of them today as well. So let's have a look. The display, what are we, 7.5 degrees outside, the sun's shining, beautiful day. So we'll get home, we'll get all the gear out and get into it. Okay, so we're back home here now in the driveway, ready to fit our brand new relay. So we've got to get under here. Alright, so that's that little lot out of the way now. So this is the second time I've had to come in to have a look at these relays. Now I did a video recently on the changing out the SMG relays, the two of them. But unfortunately when I got the parts from the supplier, the one for the SMG hydraulic pump wasn't the correct part. And like an idiot, I didn't check the part numbers before I got into the job. So once I was sort of deep into the job, then I realised, so for the purposes of the previous video, I just cheated a bit and I ended up putting the original relay back in, but I've since taken that other new one back and changed it out for the correct one, so we're going back in today to redo it. I've lost count how many times in the past you sort of get right deep into a job, you got to fit the parts that you've got all ready for the job, and then you find out it's the wrong one and your car's in bits, especially in my younger years when you've only got the one car and you got the weekend to fix it and you got to get it back together ready for Monday morning to get to work, and then you're in a right mess. So that's certainly one benefit of having more than one car now. Alright, off with the lid. Stay there. Now then, that's the bugger we've got to get out. See if I can do this with my fingertips. There we go. So that's the old one. It's not working too bad, to be honest, so we'll keep that as a spare. We'll chuck that in the boot. And then we're just changing this one out preventatively. Check that we've got the correct part. Yep, looks good to me. I'll chuck that back in. There we go, make sure it's pushed down nicely. Right, I'll start piecing everything back together. Try and get these self-tapping screws nice and straight. Let me start them off. So I see a lot of my viewers based in the northern hemisphere. I see you coming into summer now, getting some nice weather, getting out and working on your cars. So you'll have to let me know in the comments below what you've been up to with your M5s, keeping on top of that preventative maintenance and repairs and whatnot. So coming into winter time here in New Zealand, it's starting to get a bit cooler. Even throughout the winter time, the sun's shining most of the time, so I quite enjoy being outside and working on my car. Always good fun. Right, so that 13mm clips here. Torque screw back. Clip here. Finish off with a 13mm. Just the weather strip to go back. I find that these weather strips must shrink a bit over the years because just trying to get that clip lined up in that hole there. A bit different to when they're brand new, they're a bit of a stretch. It's not a big deal, they just sit there nicely. Alright, that's that job sorted. Everything's back together now, so what we'll do next is we'll just jump in the car, start her up and then shift through the gears, make sure everything's still happy with that new relay. Alright, here we go. No warnings on the dash, it's a good start. Let's put it in the reverse. Yes, all happy. Drive, yep, she's all good. So what we'll do now, we'll get this out the driveway, bring the coupe up into the driveway, we'll have a look at the power steering fluid. Alright, so next off we'll move on to the coupe and we'll change out the power steering fluid reservoirs here. And we've got the good old Castrol Dextron 3 mineral ATF fluid, so I'll be using that today. It being an older BMW, if it's a later model you'll be looking at CHF 11S. A little funky spout on this one. Alright, a clean up. So this is a job you want to have a look at doing, maybe every 4 years. Don't need to be done that frequently, I'll probably do mine a bit more frequently than that, but there are alternative ways of doing this. You can jack the front of the car up and drain it all off by pulling the hose from underneath, and that'll drain most of the system, the rack and everything. But to be honest, I prefer just to do it this way. So the method I'm going to use today is we're going to suck all the fluid out of there, put some new stuff in, and then we're just going to cycle the pump and move the rack from left to right a few times, bleed the new fluid through, and essentially you're kind of diluting it up to a certain extent, but we'll do it sort of 3 or 4 times and then you should have like 90% of the fluid changed out, and I change it that regular anyway, so I'll be happy with how fresh that'll be. And I'm not too bothered about jacking the front end of the car up and pulling hoses. Just makes a bloody great mess. You've got to clean up, and if you've ever had transmission fluid on your driveway before, you'll know what a pain in the ass it is to get off. So we're going to make life easy for ourselves today. I'm going to use this procedure. It's worked well for me over the years, never had any issues, so let's get into it. Alright, so many folk use a turkey baster method to suck all the fluid out here. I just use one of these off one of these hand soap bottles that we pump like that, and then you just want a container to squirt it into. I find it's a lot quicker and a lot less messy. You can see the old stuff there is not that dirty and brown. It's still got a nice red colour to it, but it's been in there for about 3.5 4 years now, so we'll get it changed out. We'll maybe do a couple of drain and flushes. I'll be happy with that. Right, we've got about as much as we're going to get out of there. Just drained it dry. That doesn't look too bad actually. But anyhow, we'll get it changed out. It'll be a good job done. Some nice fresh fluid in there. Fill her up. Once we get this topped off, we'll start the car up, get that pump going, get all this new fluid circulating, and we'll turn the rack from side to side and we'll repeat the process. Check the level. Spot on. Good guess. Right. I'll start her up. So that'll circulate for a couple of minutes. Okay, so now we've got the pump going and pumping that new fluid around the system. We'll just move the rack from side to side just to get that new fluid right the way through the system. And although it'll be diluting with the old stuff, once we've changed it out another couple of times, like I say, we should be sort of 95% or so new fluid, near enough, and that's good enough. Alright, shut her off and we'll go and drain it out again, top it up and repeat the process. So it's coming out slightly cleaner this time round. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there. And just another tip, often when I do this job I normally change out the wee O-ring on the cap there because they do harden and begin to leak over time. But it's not long since I changed this out recently when I had a big clean up here, so we'll leave that for today. But it's a cheap part and it's good insurance to avoid a big mess later on down the road. Alright, so we'll repeat the process again, fire up, let it circulate for a couple of minutes, and then again just turn the rack from side to side 2-3 times just to bleed all the air out the system and also get that new fluid circulating right the way through the system. Okay, so we're ready for our final drain and fill. You can see I've got about 1/3 of a bottle left there. Just make sure you've got enough to complete the job. I do have a little bit spare. I think we'll use a clean bottle for this one just to see the difference. Right, that's all empty now and we'll fill her up again. We'll start her up one last time and same again, so let it circulate for a couple of minutes, and then we'll move the steering wheel from left to right, the rack from left to right, and with the purpose to get it all through the system this time, but also to bleed any air out, which will just bleed back to the reservoir, and then we're all sorted. Yeah, that's pretty good to me. Okay, we've got the 2 bottles that we drained our fluid into here. The one on the left, that was the first 2 drains. You can see against the label there, sort of dark reddy brown colour, and then this one being the 3rd drain, it's a much paler red colour. And then we'll just take a look at the new stuff in the reservoir against this white rag. You can see that's a nice bright reddy pink colour. That's what we're looking for. So I'm happy that that's as clean as it needs to be. And like I say, there are different ways you can look at changing out your power steering fluid, but this is the method that I prefer, basically just because it's nice and easy, it's mess free, it's cheap enough, just a litre of ATF fluid and you're away. So anyway, that's that job sorted, and then next up we'll move on to the brake fluid. So we'll get that all changed out for brand new fluid and we'll get it flushed right the way through the system, so it's all brand new fluid right the way through to the calipers. So I'll start off by loosening all the wheel nuts. Alright, so we've got the car up on 4 axle stands now. So next up we'll whip off all 4 wheels. Alright, so that's all 4 wheels off. So next up we'll just give the reservoir a bit of a clean up, and today I'll be using the Castrol Performance .4. I normally find that half a litre is more than enough for the job. Alright, we're set up on the first wheel here, our 1-man brake bleed kit, and we're going to be using a 9mm spanner for this one. So there we have it, that's the last caliper bled now, and you can see here that old dirty fluid there, and then we've got the nice clean transparent fluid that's just come out the calipers there. So that's a good job done. It's a job I like to do every 2 years. Alright, there we have it, that's them little jobs sorted. Hope you enjoyed the video today. If you found it interesting, make sure you give it a like, and be sure to subscribe for more BMW content. I'm MTech Guy, thanks for watching.